Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Dr. Daniel Davids, physical therapist from the Traveling Physical Therapist. As always, I'm here supporting the Senior Umbrella Network, the Suffolk chapter. And here we go. We have another wonderful guest today with us. We have Daria Gentile. Daria, how are you today?
I am great, Danny. It's always great to talk to you.
Yes, I agree. And Daria, Daria and I have worked together multiple times already, doing a bunch of different things. And so I love any chance I can to speak with her, to tell everyone about what she does, her and Guido, and you guys work at Emics Elder Care. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Yeah, I knew the answer already. So Emics Elder Care. So we're going to talk a little bit about Emics Elder Care, and we're going to talk a little bit about Daria. So Daria, do me a favor, tell me about Emics. What does Emics Elder Care do?
So Emics Elder Care, essentially our title is that we are Medicaid specialists. We present and perform Medicaid planning in an effort to connect to programs like community Medicaid and chronic Medicaid. But what's unique about us, and I'm sure you're going to ask me more about this later, is that we're also senior advocates along with being Medicaid planners.
So I think that's wonderful. And yes, that is a question I'm going to say for a little bit later on. And I love that. I love that you're kind of balancing more than one thing here. And I think you do it very, very well. So I know Guido has been doing this for a long time. He started the business. And I know that you kind of, as a relationship manager, that's your title, I believe, correct? So as a relationship manager, you have, you kind of jumped in a little bit after, obviously. Daria, how long have you been doing this?
So I've been with Emics for just 2 years. It was just 2 years in October this month. And however, I did not become the relationship manager until April of 2019. So for the first, let's call it 6 months, I kind of worked behind the scenes a little bit. I was going to some of the events with Emics. I was learning the ropes, so to speak, setting up some meetings, making some phone calls to set up some introductions.
I love it. And I think I'm trying to think of when you and I met, because it was in about 2 years. How long were you working with Guido before you and I met?
Not long. We met, actually, funny thing, we met at Suffolk, one of the meetings. Yes, I remember. Yes, you were, it was, everyone was checking in at the desk. I was standing off to the side. I probably was waiting for Guido, is my thought, because I was relatively new. I want to say it was probably April's meeting or May, could have been May, April or May. And I remember you coming rushing in and getting online and registering. And I remember just smiling and looking at you. And then I think we introduced ourselves, and it was fast friends ever since, right?
That's right. If I recall correctly, we saw each other. And then like the next day, I went to another meeting, like an evening meeting, like Huntington, something like that, someplace. And of course you were there again. I said, okay, well, obviously this is meant to be. And we've been, like you said, we've been fast friends ever since.
Yep. And I really enjoyed working.
Yes, you guys are the best. Tell me, like, for a typical day for you, Daria, especially now during the pandemic, but just in general, and a typical day for you, what is walk me through it from morning till bedtime. Let me know what your still consists of.
So, I mean, with Emics, without Emics, both, you want to know both, right? You want to know everything. I know.
Oh.
You're a good interviewer. So, more importantly now, especially with the virus and the situation that we've been placed in terms of having to continue business and life, might I add, through these circumstances that we're in. You probably know I'm an active person, and you probably also know I'm a very social person. So that's been a challenge, but I haven't allowed that to come in the midst of my life to stop the things that I love doing. And one of the things that's a staple in my life, I was just telling somebody on a Zoom before this, is my walking routine and my exercise routine. And I have to say, more importantly now than ever, it's super essential for me to start my day with a power walk. So I usually walk 1 hour every morning with my friend, and we walk and talk, and we feel great afterward. And then at some point also during the day, sometimes in the morning, sometimes it's at the end of my day, I have to dance, right? I'm a Zumbaette, and I do a bunch of different kinds of dancing. And now I've just started incorporating toning. And we can talk a little bit about that as well. But in terms of Emics, I usually am touching base with my partners out in the field. So we work closely with folks like you, Danny, from Traveling Therapists, to collaborate with families that we know we can help in terms of getting this information out. So I'm working with a lot of different referral partners all over Long Island, because we cover all the boroughs. We cover Nassau, we cover Suffolk, and Westchester too. So I'm trying to keep in touch. I'm trying to stay on top of all the associations that I belong to. NAIPC and Sun Suffolk are two that I work very, very closely with. And I'm also receiving calls from family members, either direct or through referrals, through my referral partners. So more than likely, every day I'm speaking to a family member who needs some counsel, who needs some advice, some direction, some peace of mind to know that there's somebody that can help support them and listen.
I think that's wonderful. That's beautiful, Daria. And let me tell you something. I love, I'm obviously big into fitness. I'm a physical therapist, former professional wrestler. So obviously, like, fitness is a big part of my life. Was much more, is still now. However, I want to see, it's cool. I'm wearing these, I made ID tags for all my therapists. And one of the things I put on for every person is, like, I ask them, what are some things that they're interested in? And I always say, I put them on there, whatever it is. If they're into hiking, I put like a little, picture of someone hiking, whatever it is, just so it's fun, because it's, you put something on there and then a patient goes, well, what is that? And you go, well, actually, I'm really into hiking. And they go, well, I used to hike. Just, talking points. So I have, for me, I'll show you mine too. I don't know if it's backwards too, but for me, so I got, this one is wrestling. I used to, like I said, and I got to get really close. The sweat of a man and a woman dancing, because every night now, this has been this whole thing. Every night, my wife and I, between 8:30 and, usually start at 9 o'clock. At 9 o'clock for about an hour, we do these dance cardio things. And it's like Caribbean dance, African dance. We love it. Every single night we do it. And then we finish with 8-minute dance. So we do. It's a great thing. I think wonderful that you're interested in fitness and taking care of your body and taking care of your mind, your health, everything plays into it together. And in a different conversation, this would be, I have a lot more questions for you, but I know people may as interested in fitness as you and I. So I'll go on to the next question here. Is you started talking about a little bit before, is what makes Emics Elder Care different than another? Because I know we said this last time we interviewed together, is people who set up Medicaid for seniors. There's a lot of them on the island. So what makes Emics different?
Well, I think that's a great question. And I think that's a really important question, right? And I think, having done this for a year and a half front facing with the company, I can clearly tell you that one of the biggest differences we take is we focus on care. We don't focus on so much the process of the application, although the application is a step in our process. We're much more focused on holding hands with the family, on helping them really investigate what the best path is and what their options might be in achieving their care goal. We do that by offering free consultations. And I said free, and that's huge. And even when I tell referral partners that we work with that we do that, that just adds a whole layer of comfort and advocacy, like I said, the senior advocacy piece, to the role that we play. We are available 24/7. Our cell phones are on our business cards. So again, it's not that business that you think of where we're sitting in an office. We're out in the community. We're one of the community. And we understand that people need extra support. They need extra hand-holding. So that's part of the way we make a difference. But the other thing that's really important to know is we are most of the times less expensive than what you might think of a traditional way of doing planning, which is, most people tend to think of elder law. We're not lawyers. We're specialists. If this is all we do, right? So because of that, we have a lot more of a robust service that we can offer in terms of the hours that we're available, in terms of the time that we can spend with someone. I also like to place emphasis on the fact that this is a great analogy. So, when you work like what you do as a physical therapist, you would think of the medical side of what you do as an orthopedist, right? You'd go to an orthopedist for any problems that you had with your bone structure. Well, we're the specialists,
Sure.
yes, but we're even more specialized than the orthopedist, right? We are actually the guy who is the ankle guy, right? So we're that specified. This is the world that we live in, and this is all we do. So we're very specialized in it, and because of that, that leads me into my another point about what's important about us is when it comes to the care piece and working with the managed long-term care companies and that whole segment at the end after approval, we're still heavily involved, and we bring a wealth of knowledge and a wealth of relationship in that MLTC connection piece. And that matters because at the end of the day, it's not just getting approved for Medicaid that matters. What matters is the beneficial outcome in the amount of care and who that care is being provided with. That's your end result. And that working with the specialist, especially at Emics, and that having that senior advocacy piece is going to give you a much higher benefit to the person that you're doing the planning for and needing the care for at the end of the day. And that really is how we measure our results in those beneficial outcomes.
So Emics Eldercare, the super specialized Medicaid planners, patient advocates, senior advocates. I love it. I love what you guys do. I love what you guys do.
I do
okay,
too.
So now I got a good idea of what Emics Eldercare is, what they do, what makes you guys special. But now, Daria, as the relationship manager that you are, I'd love to find out more about you. So I have this book that I love to ask people. My 2,000 questions about me, and it's open-ended questions that I think are very good. But I'm going to make it has to be a lightning round. So don't think for too long. You hear a question, try to
you're
your gut, okay?
Stump me, Danny. Okay.
Well, so luckily it's not trivia, or if it is trivia, it's trivia about Daria. So we're going to learn about you today. So pick a number 0 to 2,000.
Oh boy, 1,250.
Okay, and why did you pick 1,250?
I don't know, it just popped into my head. You told me not to think.
Good answer. Okay. Oh, this is interesting. Now, usually they're very open-ended. This is not an open-ended question, but maybe you can elaborate a little bit. If you participated tomorrow, could you win a spelling bee?
Yes. Maybe.
Are you a good speller?
I am, but I don't study the dictionary. So if you give me a really tough word, I can't guarantee how it's going to
come let's out. Say you ready? Let's say we took all the Senior Umbrella Network, everyone, and we threw them all into a room and we said, surprise, spelling bee. Do you think you'd place, I don't know, let's say there's 100 people. You think you'd place in the top 10?
Yes.
Very good. Now let me ask you a question. Do you have a word that you constantly misspell?
Oh, that's a tough one. Constantly? No. No.
That's great. Okay, I'm not going to embarrass myself, but I have about 3 of them that every time I spell, I'm just like, nope, that's wrong.
Oh, come on. You got to tell me one now, Danny. What's fair is fair. One. Just give me one.
I'm trying to think of one that's not too embarrassing. You know what? This is your interview. This is not my interview. We're interviewing you. You're not going to put me on the spot. All right. Next question. Moving on. Next question. Pick a number 0 to 2,000.
222.
Okay. 222. Is 2 your lucky number?
No, it's kind of a story behind that, but I don't know if I really want to share it on video.
Okay. Well, okay. That's
good. It's a friend of. It's actually all right. I'll tell you. It's a friend of mine that I have gotten to know a little bit better. Just saying hi to her. And it's also because I met her and that was a number that was important to her and I picked up on it. It also was the address of my grandma and my aunt who lived in the same home for many, many years. And now my cousin is still in that home. And that's why the number stood out to me. So that's where it comes from.
I mean, when you see that much repetition of a number in your life, I think you start to take note. All right, so this is good because I usually say, if there's a question, if it's inappropriate, I'll just ask you to pick another number. But this might be inappropriate, but I don't care. You're going to answer it. How was your very first kiss?
Kiss? Oh, it was good. I remember that. But I was
Do
young.
you want to set the scene, or you're not feeling comfortable with that?
That the what?
Do you want to set the scene? You want to tell us what happened, or was it something you had a crush
No, I'll
on?
tell you. I mean, it was like, I was like 13 or something, and it was the boy next door, that kind of thing. And he was cute. And to this day, we still, I mean, I haven't seen him in a long time, but he's somebody that I went to grammar school with my whole life. We lived across the street from each other, literally. So that was it. And he's now married and has his own life with his own family, and I have mine. But I'm sure he laughs about it just like I do, in a nice way.
And can he vouch for your great spelling? That's what we all want to know.
I think so. We both went to the same grammar school, but I will tell you, in my experience, I always have found, for whatever reason, girls just tend to be better spellers than boys, but not always. I would say as a general rule, because my husband can't spell either. Just saying.
I want to be like that's sexist and but I'm discriminating. But you know what I'm thinking? I'm not as great of a speller. My wife's a better speller. I was like, it's all the girls I know are better spellers. And
there you
you
go.
know what? Listen, I'm offended, but you might be right. But I am offended.
Don't
deeply,
be offended.
Deeply offended.
It all comes from a place of love, Danny. It's funny with my group, with my Daria's Roundtable group, that's growing by the way. I always think of you when I think of the group, and when people ask me about the group, like, what is this group? Like, what do you do in this group? And I say, well, it's a lot of empowering women, many entrepreneurs, and I say, but I'm not open to having a male. And you're always one of them that I would want. So one of these days, Danny, I'm going to have you when you have the time, maybe 6 months from now, I want to have you do a little bit for us. Cause we meet every 2 weeks. And what I try to do is I try to have, some kind of a value content, somebody coming on to talk about either their business, something they're interested in, something they do wonderfully, or what they do and how they do it, for about 30 minutes, and do a presentation for 20, 30, whatever, however. And it's very, very interesting. So we would love to have a male guest, and you're like at the top of my list.
I'm there. I'm in. And now listen, if people want to find out about Daria's Roundtable, what, like, is it, do you guys meet in person? Like, what is it? Tell me how
I started the group. There are several of my favorite women from healthcare. It's a Facebook group. I started the group in the beginning of this whole COVID situation that we're in, as a way to keep people connected, to help provide value, to help keep people positive, to help educate, and have fun. We do fun things too. So that is it. It's a free group. It's all good stuff, all positive, but it is a private group. However, you can like Daria's Roundtable page. That's a, what do you call it? Not private, a public page. I couldn't think of the word there for a second. Public page. So that's what I created that for. And a lot of good stuff's coming out of it. And I'm going to make this come full circle. We started talking about fitness. I'm going to end by talking about fitness. I don't know if you're done, but I'm getting to that. I figure you're probably going to cut me off soon. I just started and just sponsoring through Daria's Roundtable free virtual fitness Zooms through the Roundtable. So a friend of mine who's adorable, who wants to give back and wants to just help people and be a positive for people, she is leading us in some toning. But when we do the toning, we do it to music. So it's fun, and we're singing and we're toning and we're dancing sometimes. So that's the latest addition to Daria's Roundtable.
I love it. I think we got to make sure we post a link for both Emics Elder Care and for Daria's Roundtable down below in the comments, so that people who can, we're interested, could check both, check you out on both links.
I would love that. Love that.
Okay, so Daria, yes, ladies and gentlemen, Daria Gentile, fantastic person, relationship manager at Emics Elder Care. And please tell me if I have this phone number correct. I have it down as 516-543-5330. Is that correct?
That's our office line, and I will get that message, but I would love you to have my mobile, because really you can text me or call me at any point, anytime, 7 days a week, 24/7, doesn't matter. It's 631-214-9613.
Wonderful. Daria, as always, thank you so much. I'm always indebted to you. You're always so fantastic to me and to everything that we do and any cause that we support. You're always right there. You were there when we did the Alzheimer's Association, the live-a-thon, and he taught everyone margaritas. I love that one. That was
That was so fun. That was so fun.
We had a
That
really wonderful time with that. Ladies and gentlemen, Daria, she's a wonderful person. Reach out, join the roundtable. Daria's roundtable on Facebook, and check out Emics Elder Care whenever you can. They are fantastic Medicaid planners, and they're a wonderful part of, and a very integral part of the Senior Umbrella Network of the Suffolk chapter here. So thank you very much. And Daria, thank you very much for all your help and everything. Take care.
Thank you so much. Bye.
I can't get it to stop.
Wait, hold on. I want to do a boomerang with us.